today
we are gonna design
the Aventador SV and maybe also the SVJ
in the Lego
Speed Champion scale.
Mate, did you just send that
Yeah, I did. Jokes aside, I'm actually not a huge fan of the Aventador. I prefer the Murcielago and especially the Gallardo a lot more because of the cleaner designs. And the Gallardo was even also my dream car as a kid. I'm just not a huge fan of the extra shaping and stuff like that of the Aventador.
But Lambos are all about drama and insane designs.
Yeah, you're not a real Lambo fan.
Maybe not.
Of course, you might think that's a good thing.
But I've started to like the Aventador a lot more throughout the years. Pretty much just in time for its follow-up model. And now I have to build this up again for the third time. We'll probably have to use my own instructions to put this together.
And speaking of instructions, don't forget that you can get the digital individual instructions for the SV and many more models at the website.
There's an Aventador.
There's also free downloadable parts lists for all the models available, so you can order or just check the price for the parts for the model you want before you decide to get any instructions at all.
I actually cheated a bit and used some black mud cards for the other side of the car. I thought it would be better to get this video out to you instead of waiting for some other mud guards.
Plus, you can find a how to order parts tutorial at the website that shows you how to do exactly that.
We're gonna build a car today.
Don't want to order the parts yourself? No problem. There's also custom-made kits with parts included.
So don't forget to get the instructions or custom-made kit for this or any of my other models, of course. But now, let's move on to the functions.
But hey, wait a second. Why did you even design the Aventador if you're not a fan of it?
I've designed a lot of Lambos, different Huracan models, the Gallardo, Countach, first gen Aventador, Urus. They just always really requested, especially Aventadors. Besides, for me, recreating a specific car isn't about personal preference. It's about diving into the details, understanding its soul and appreciating the art of automotive engineering. Through these journeys, I always learn to love and appreciate the cars I design in ways I never expected. Because in the world of Lego and cars, every build is a celebration of passion, innovation and the joy of creation. Let's embrace diversity, relish challenges and find beauty in every single detail. But now we need to move on to the functions. Unfortunately though, this model doesn't have that many functions. You can however remove the engine cover to reveal a little bit of engine details. Then you can kinda open the doors, even though I wouldn't really recommend it or even classify it as a function. But if you really want to, it is possible. Moving on to some building techniques, for example, the headlights are created in a very similar way to my first gen Aventador. The main difference is that I used wedge tiles instead of wedge slopes for this one, which I think looks a lot better. And to create the side panels of the headlights, I used some modified bar pieces with a 1x1 round plate to be able to angle them in 2 directions. And the most interesting detail in my opinion are the side air vents, which are angled with some clip plates and a bar piece to match up relatively good with everything around them. And lastly, we have the rear part of the roofline, which is angled from the inside with a technique I've used before. Couldn't really decide if I was going to build this or the SVJ before I started designing this one. But yeah, of course I ended up designing the SV, but now I kinda feel like I want to try and do the SVJ as well. So maybe we should do that. Can't go wrong with Toto and Lego. So created these weird nostril front vents now. Maybe not absolutely accurate to the real car, but I think it's kinda good enough. So now the SVJ is done as well, and I'm especially happy with how the rear turned out on this model. Just one interesting building technique I want to show you here is how I was able to get the tiles angled and at the same time attaching the exhaust pieces, which I did by using some jumper plates on the side and then attached and angled some headlight bricks onto the jumper plates to fit everything together, which ended up matching quite perfectly with everything around. Might release the SVJ as well in some shape or form, but we'll probably post that on Instagram or something. But if you really don't want to miss any drops, I can really recommend you to subscribe to my newsletter as well. Plus then you'll get some free GT86 instructions. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well and brick it up, turn it loose and let your creativity burn rubber. Bye for now.